Warren Buffett owns 3% of the entire U.S. Treasury bill market. Let that sink in. Berkshire Hathaway, but Warren Buffett owns 3% of the entire U.S. T-bill market. So basically, Warren Buffett owns America, if that makes sense. So I just want to, I find this incredibly interesting. I don't have any negative on this at all. I don't like, oh my goodness, Warren Buffett. I mean, whatever. But check this out. Warren Buffett, and I don't subscribe to CNBC because I like the ladies, if you know what I'm saying. If you subscribe to CNBC, you don't like the ladies. By the way, when I say that, it's just a joke, people. Relax. There are some people get like, ah. You can subscribe to CNBC and still like the ladies. Anyway, Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway owns 3% of entire T-bill markets at JP Morgan. So then I went over here, and here's Motley Fool. Look, and I don't subscribe to Motley Fool either, but dude, they do some good work, man. I'm just telling you, good on them. They have Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway has $189 billion in cash being T-bills. $189 billion. All right, so then I want to show you guys something here too. Check this out. Here are the 5 countries that own the most U.S. debt. All right, this is all debt, not just T-bills. T-bills are basically anything that matures within a year, just FYI. Can I put this, there we go. All right, so man, looking good, Josh. Like, I haven't showered yet. Look at that. My hair looks good. Looking handsome. Got a nice little tan to brighten up my pale skin. So let's go back here. Let me get rid of this. Can I get rid of this stupid person? Get rid of these things. All right, so here's the 5 countries that own the most U.S. debt. Japan, $1.187 trillion in Treasury securities as of March. Now, Treasury securities is everything. Again, long bond, intermediate bonds, and T-bills. How do I get rid of these freaking thing here? I guess I can't. China owns $797 billion of debt. UK, $753. Luxembourg. Why would Luxembourg, that tiny little country, and Canada? So Warren Buffett is basically owns $189 billion. Is that what it was? Yeah, $189 billion. So he owns about a fourth of what China owns, and that's just a T-bill. I can't imagine Warren Buffett has many long bonds. So Berkshire Hathaway. All right. So how much? Again, I always say this to all these people. They're going to crash they're going to crash the dollar. Crash the dollar. It drives me crazy. So I always say, well, how can China crash the dollar when it's only got $800 billion of our entire U.S. Treasury debt, which is about $35 trillion. So we take 800 billion divided by 35 trillion. That's not 23%. That's 2%. Actually, let me just double check that. Let me double check my math. So 2.3%. So China owns 2.3% of U.S. debt. So if China were to do a mass liquidation of bonds, what would that do? Well, come on, man. I mean, that, it hit the price for sure. I mean, it'd be a liquidation. That doesn't help. 2.3% of the entire market is a lot of money, but it's not going to crash the dollar for ever's sake. And then UK owns just about the same as money. Anyway, the point being is Berkshire Hathaway owns that kind of cash. So, and I always say, when we're paying the interest, the U.S. is paying interest to whom? We can't afford the interest. Who's getting the interest? It's the bond holders, man, and the T-bill holders. So Berkshire Hathaway, China, you, if you own government bonds. Yeah, should we have as much debt to China and Japan? Probably not, but there's a reason we do that, to facilitate trade and whatnot, to keep our presence in the world very well known. I mean, my goodness, does China rely on us more than them, or do we? I mean, who relies on who more? I mean, at the end of the day, it's mutually assured destruction for sure. But I mean, Berkshire Hathaway on I'm not going to be able to figure it out in my head, but $189 billion on 5% a year, whatever that is. I don't know. Off the top of my head, I don't know. You'd have to figure it out. A smarter person than me would have to figure that out. That's how much interest they're getting. Berkshire Hathaway. Oh, they're paying tax on that too, because that goes to corporation. China's getting interest on that. Don't get me wrong, but the vast majority of debt isn't owned by China or Japan or Berkshire Hathaway. It's owned by us, Americans. We are getting the interest off these things. Anyway, I just thought it was interesting, and that doesn't look like Warren Buffett's all that bullish on the markets. I'm going to do another video on this here in just a second, but on something else I want to do. I'll figure I'd share that with you. All right, love to hear your thoughts. God bless.